Have you thought of moving to Portugal to improve your life quality? Portugal's popularity is certainly on the rise, but actually how easy is to move here? This video will be exploring the main residency visas you can use to live in this wonderful country. Hi guys, this is Mariano, welcome to my channel. So let's start by stating something obvious. If you hold one of the European Union member states citizenship, you don't need any paperwork to move to Portugal. You can just come in and register as an EU citizen. If you do not hold citizenship of one of these 27 member states, you will need a visa. The great thing about residency visas in Portugal is that all of them will allow you to lodge your family either within the application or through the family reunification process. That means that you can bring with you your spouse, your children, and even your dependent parents. The residency process in Portugal is split on two sections. The first part is where you make the application at the consulate of the country where you live in. There you have to provide all the requirements and documentations and fill in the application. That once that is granted, they will get you a safe appointment for 4 months later to come in Portugal, and then they will double check that you still met the criteria when living in the country. After this process is completed, they will give you a residency card. Now moving on to the actual visas you can use. Let's start off by one of the most famous, the D7 visa, also known as the passive income visa. This one is intended for people that earn a passive income such as a royalty, a utility or a dividend, or rental property income that someone can live off. The main requirement of the D7 visa consists of showing that you have a regular income of at least 660 euros per month on a 14 times a year basis. Just remember that Portugal has 14 salaries per year instead of 12. You don't actually need to show that you get the annual amount in your bank account, but the more you can show to demonstrate your economical solvency, the better. Also, it's good to point out that if you want to bring your family, you have to calculate at least 50% over this amount for each family member that you're adding. Besides the passive income, you will also need to get a 1-year lease of a place to live in Portugal, also showing that you have a Portuguese bank account, having a clean criminal record statement issued by your local government that will need to get apostilled and later on translated to Portuguese, a medical insurance for the period that you're making all this residency process, just because afterwards you would have a legal right to use the Portuguese medical system, and depending on the consulate you may also be required to provide a letter stating why you want to live in Portugal. Once your visa is approved after going to the second safe appointment, you will get a 2-year residency permit that could then be extended for another 3-year term, and then after 5 years you'll be able to apply for citizenship or permanent residency. I need to mention that before Portugal had the D8 visa, the D7 visa was a typical route for digital nomads to move into Portugal, but now the D7 has been strictly restricted just to people having passive income, and now digital nomads will have to go through the D8 visa. So moving on, let's talk about the D8 visa. Also known as the Digital Nomad Visa, the D8 residency permit is the perfect option for digital nomads, self-employed people, or remote workers. The main requirement of the D8 visa consists of showing that you have a monthly income of at least 4 times the minimum salary in Portugal. As of 2023, the minimum salary in Portugal is 760 euros, therefore you will need at least 3,040 euros per month to apply to the visa. Another requirements consist of showing that you're in a regular situation in the country you're living, that you're a regular tax resident, having no criminal record, and also showing a 1-year lease, health insurance, and a statement of why you want to live in Portugal. This visa also gets you a 2-year residency renewable for 3 more years, that then after 5 years gets access to permanent residency or citizenship. As a third option, Portugal has recently created another kind of visa called the job-seeking visa that would allow someone in their home country to move to Portugal to look for another job. As with the other visas, this has a 2-step process where you first apply in your home country in the consulate, and thereafter you come to a safe appointment in Portugal But the particularity of this visa is that in the self-employment, you have to show proof that someone has hired you on a local contract in Portugal, and also that you got a lease agreement in the time that you got into the country. For this visa, the main requirement is having savings of at least 2,380 euros, which is equivalent to 3 months of the minimum salary, as well as having a return flight home just in case you don't get a job that is willing to hire you, having a clean criminal record, health insurance, as well as being able to prove that you're in a regular tax and immigrant situation in your home country. So moving on to another option, Portugal also has another kind of visa, such as the entrepreneur visa, also called the D2. To put it simple, this visa is granted to someone that is willing to invest in Portugal by opening a company. The main requirement of this visa consists of having a business plan that will need to get approved by Portuguese authorities, as well as showing a bank account statement of at least 9,120 euros to invest in your business, or either a statement from your bank saying that they will lend you that amount. Other requirements of the D2 visa are common to the D7 or the D8, such as providing a 1-year lease, having medical insurance, a clean criminal record, as well as being in a regular tax and immigrant status in your home country. Bear in mind that this visa will also give you a 2-year term renewable for 3 more years, which thereafter gets you to permanent residency or citizenship once you get 5 years. Now, another option worth mentioning that is much lesser known is the D3 visa for highly qualified individuals. The main requirement consists of having a level 6 qualification under the International Standard Classification of Education, or a level 5 qualification with 5 years of work experience. Also, you have to show that you got at least a 1-year contract offer and that you will earn at least 17,000 euros per year. Now, you may have noticed that I didn't mention one of the most famous visas in Portugal, which is the Residency by Investment, so-called the Golden Visa. This visa allowed someone making a real estate investment of at least 250,000 euros to get residency in Portugal. Firstly, this program got restricted out of highly demanded areas such as Lisbon, Porto, or the Algarve, just because it was being blamed of increasing the property prices. Afterwards, as of 2023, the Portuguese government just decided that the Golden Visa program is going to be cancelled. That's why I'm not mentioning this option to you. So there you have it, guys. Those were the main visa options you have to live in Portugal as of 2023. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and make a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.